A sky-divided Russian airspace closure and global aviation. The skies, once a symbol of global interconnectedness, are now once again reflecting geopolitical tensions. Russia's decision to retaliate to the Western sanctions and close its airspace to airlines from the European Union, the United States, and their allies has sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. This closure, unprecedented in its scope and duration, has forced airlines to navigate a new reality, one marked by longer routes, increased costs, and heightened uncertainty. The closure has created a stark divide in global aviation. On one side, European and U.S. airlines are grappling with the consequences of having to circumvent a vast and strategically important airspace. On the other side, carriers from countries that have not imposed sanctions on Russia, such as China, India, and several Middle Eastern nations, find themselves with a unique advantage. This essay will delve into the multifaceted impact of the Russian airspace closure, exploring its effects on major airlines, ticket prices, safety concerns, and the future of air travel. European aviation in the turbulence of closed skies. European airlines, once accustomed to the efficiency of transiting Russian airspace on their routes to Asia, are now facing the brunt of the closure. Major carriers like Lufthansa, British Airways, and SAS have been forced to make significant adjustments to their flight schedules and operations. Flights to key destinations in East Asia, such as Tokyo, Seoul, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Beijing, have been particularly affected. The closure has resulted in longer flight times ranging from 1 to 3 hours depending on the route. This translates to higher fuel consumption, increased operating costs, and a domino effect on ticket prices. Airlines have also had to contend with logistical challenges, including crew scheduling and aircraft utilization. The closure has put a strain on their resources, forcing them to make difficult decisions regarding route suspensions, fleet reductions, and even job cuts. Eastern carriers take flight beneficiaries of the crisis. While European and U.S. airlines grapple with the challenges of the Russian airspace closure, their counterparts in China, India, and the Middle East are finding themselves in a more favorable position. These carriers, unrestricted by the airspace ban, are capitalizing on the opportunity to expand their operations and increase their market share. Chinese airlines, in particular, have witnessed a surge in demand for their flights between Europe and Asia. With European carriers facing longer routes and higher costs, Chinese airlines can offer more competitive fares and, in some cases, even shorter travel times. This has allowed them to attract passengers who might have previously opted for European airlines, potentially leading to a long-term shift in market dynamics. Similarly, Middle Eastern carriers like Emirates and Qatar Airways, known for their extensive global networks, are also benefiting from their ability to maintain routes through Russian airspace. The ripple effect ticket prices, availability, and safety concerns. The closure of Russian airspace has had a ripple effect throughout the aviation industry, impacting not just airlines, but also passengers. The most noticeable consequence has been the sharp rise in ticket prices, particularly for flights between Europe and Asia. The longer routes and increased fuel consumption have forced airlines to pass on at least some of the added costs to consumers. This price surge has coincided with reduced seat availability, as airlines operate fewer flights on affected routes due to logistical constraints and economic considerations. Passengers are now faced with limited options, higher fares, and the possibility of longer, less convenient journeys. The closure has also raised concerns about operational safety. Airlines are now operating on routes with higher traffic density, particularly in areas bordering Russian airspace. This increased congestion, coupled with the challenges of navigating longer routes and potentially unfamiliar airspace, has the potential to increase the workload for pilots and air traffic controllers. A new aviation landscape, long-term implications, and future trends. The closure of Russian airspace is not just a temporary disruption, it represents a significant shift in the global aviation landscape. The long-term implications of this closure are still unfolding, but several trends are emerging. First, the closure is likely to accelerate the shift in aviation power dynamics, with Eastern carriers, particularly those in China, gaining a competitive edge over their Western counterparts. Second, the closure is forcing airlines to rethink their route networks and fleet strategies. European airlines, for instance, are exploring alternative routes to Asia, including those over the Middle East and Central Asia. They are also investing in more fuel-efficient aircraft to mitigate the impact of longer routes. Third, the closure is highlighting the vulnerability of the aviation industry to geopolitical tensions. It serves as a reminder that the skies, despite their vastness, are not immune to the complexities of international relations. Conclusion: navigating the uncertain skies of tomorrow. The closure of Russian airspace has ushered in a new era of uncertainty for global aviation. Airlines are adapting to a reality where geopolitical considerations play an increasingly significant role in shaping route networks, operational costs, and ultimately, the passenger experience. As the situation continues to evolve, airlines, policymakers, and passengers alike will need to navigate the uncertain skies of tomorrow with a mix of flexibility, resilience, and a keen understanding of the interconnectedness between geopolitics and the future of air travel. Have your travel plans been affected by the increased prices or reduced seat availability? Let us know in the comments below. Share, like, and subscribe. Safe flights, and see you next time.